Hello, hello, hello. This is your message from the universe for 10/21/2020. This is the rune Dagaz. Now, Dagaz is the rune for a breakthrough or a transformation. It has to do with timing. It has to do with your thought process. Sometimes it's something incredibly physical with you. And it's all about that epiphany, that moment when the tumblers line up like in a lock, or when all the dots connect. It's that moment where you recognize what's next. And then acting on it is the next space that we go to. That observation comes from the shift in perspective. You've been working on yourself. You have been healing yourself. You have been really putting in some hard work, which it sometimes seems pointless because we don't see things changing because we're so close to it, And so this Hanged Man speaks of looking at the situation from a different perspective. Sometimes we're way too close to our own advantages, to our own gifts, to the things that we do well. We're far too close to them to actually see them from an objective space. And we talked about looking at things objectively yesterday. And now this epiphany, this breakthrough transformation is literally coming from that space of observation that was in the reading yesterday. And it speaks about your training. It speaks about your knowledge, and whether it is for a relationship or for a business or for your spiritual journey, it speaks about gaining the knowledge necessary to move forward, to excel, to become a leader, to become an expert in that particular field so that you can then take that into the next phase. And it really speaks about this training is going to take you into a journey, into progress, into expansion, and in some cases, actual journey, actual physical journey, actual physical trips and business trips, or schooling that's out of state, or traveling for your job, or even moving, picking up and going somewhere else. This breakthrough is really going to lead you to that space, but you do still have resistance to that movement. And we've talked about this many times about how we look, our life looks now has to change for us to get to the life that we want to get to. It has to shift, and it will look very, very different. And for a lot of us, that comes with a lot of fear. We fear that if we change everything where we are, will we be alone? Will we be lonely? Will we be able to do it on our own? But this Eight of Wands in this direction speaks about movement and progress and expansion, exactly the same as this Three of Wands, are very, very close in meaning. And when it's reversed, it talks about resistance to that movement. And this Queen of Swords, though, is really standing up for you and saying, you can do this. You can be independent. Your loneliness and being physically alone or in a new place doesn't mean that things are not going to work out. Doesn't mean you're going to be that way forever. This Queen of Swords is pragmatic. She's practical. She takes charge and leads with her head and not her heart. And so when you're thinking about expanding your skills, learning something new, this is a practical shift that has to happen in your life for you to get to where it is that you want to go. Now, this is obviously a very specific reading for some of you. For others, maybe it doesn't apply so much, or maybe you're not seeing how it applies because you don't feel like you're going to be changing much, or maybe you're very happy with where your life is at the moment. Maybe this reading isn't for you. I always kind of feel like the readings that we need kind of pop in front of us, and we can tell right away whether that message is for us or not. Some people think that's BS. I just feel really strongly that the universe sends us signs. So for some of you, this was the exact thing that you needed to see, that stepping into that space of really allowing your independence to lead the way, of recognizing that the skills that you need are going to take you places that you are not at right now. They're going to take you into new spaces, and you do still have some resistance to that. Don't be scared. I know that it's scary to do new things. I know that it's scary to leave your safety safe, your hidey hole. But this is where the growth comes. This is where the adventure comes, and that's what we're here for. You are beloved. You matter. You are loved.